Donald Trump, Nicki Minaj, two names that don't belong in the same sentence, yet somehow they keep ending up there. Social media says Nicki Minaj shook the world with comments about Trump. Headlines exploded, clips went viral, opinions went crazy. But here's the real question. What did Nicki Minaj actually say? And what did the internet exaggerate? Let's get into it. Who Nicki Minaj really is, and why this was so shocking. Nicki Minaj isn't just any artist. She's one of the most influential female rappers of the past decade, with hits like Super Bass, Anaconda, and Starships. Her career has been built on creative fearlessness, bold confidence, and a massive global fan base known as the Barbs, who see her as more than a musician. She's a symbol of empowerment, individuality, and breaking barriers in an industry long dominated by men. Long before the headlines about politics, Nicki was defined by her personal story. One of struggle, survival, and determination. Born Onika Tanya Mirage in St. James, Trinidad and Tobago, she moved to the United States at age 5, growing up in Queens, New York. Life was far from easy. She often shared stories of poverty, bullying, and the challenges of growing up as a young black immigrant. She revealed that she came to the U.S. as a child without legal status, a fact that shaped her understanding of the world and informed her early reactions to political issues, especially immigration. During Donald Trump's rise in presidency, his hardline immigration policies hit near home for many immigrants, including Nicki. Policies like family separation at the border were particularly personal. In 2018, she spoke out publicly, saying she couldn't imagine the trauma of children being ripped from their families, sharing her fears and empathy. Her stance was clear. She was a vocal critic, not a supporter. Beyond politics, Nicki's voice always carried influence. She used social media to connect with fans, highlight social issues, and occasionally challenge misinformation. Her platform allowed her to reach millions instantly, making her opinions powerful and widely scrutinized. Even small comments could spark national conversations. But over the next few years, something shifted, gradually at first, then more noticeably in late 2025 and early 2026. While she never renounced her past statements, she started engaging with political figures in ways that surprised fans. Her posts, appearances, and statements hinted at a willingness to interact with figures she had previously criticized, creating tension between her past criticisms and emerging alignment. This subtle shift set the stage for the viral moment that shocked fans worldwide and put her in headlines alongside Donald Trump. The event that changed everything. On January 28, 2026, Nicki Minaj appeared at a government event in Washington, D.C., the Treasury Department's Trump Accounts Summit. This event was meant to publicly promote a new federal savings initiative that provides tax-advantaged investment accounts for children born between 2025 and 2028, funded in part by government seed money and encouraged by public and private donors. But what stole the headlines wasn't the policy. It was the moment between Nicki Minaj and Donald Trump. Surrounded by cameras and reporters, Nicki Minaj stood beside the former U.S. president. Trump introduced her warmly, praising her success and her contribution to the initiative.
The greatest and most successful female rapper in history, Nicki Minaj.
In turn, Minaj clasped his hand on stage and made a declaration that instantly went viral. She said she was probably the president's #1 fan, and that criticism only motivated her to support him more.
I am probably the president's #1 fan.
She didn't shy away from expressing firm loyalty, something almost unheard of coming from an artist who previously criticized the same figure for immigration policy. What made it more striking was that she also took to social media afterward to show off what she called a Trump gold card. In her post, Minaj implied this card was connected to her path toward U.S. citizenship, a process she said she was finalizing with gratitude toward the president. Now, here's the important context. This so-called Trump gold card is part of a relatively new immigration-related program touted by Trump and his allies that allows high-value applicants to fast-track residency, typically involving $1 million contribution and a processing fee. The optics of her showing this card as free of charge immediately sparked intense questions and controversy, and that's what pushed this moment from surprising to explosive. But the moment didn't stop with the gold card. At that same summit, Minaj also pledged hundreds of thousands of dollars toward the Trump Accounts program, money that would go into the investment accounts benefiting children. She framed it as paying it forward for her fans' futures. Yet many observers saw this pledge as another signal that her public shift was deeper and possibly tied to personal gain, influence, or alignment with a political agenda. Why the internet went wild. So why did this moment blow up so intensely? Part of it is purely unexpected alignment. Nicki Minaj has rarely been seen as a traditional political actor, and she certainly wasn't known as a Trump supporter. When a major entertainment figure makes such a dramatic public proclamation, especially one involving deep political figures, the internet reacts instantly, loudly, and emotionally. But there's also a deeper cultural context at play. In recent years, public figures have been pushed into polarized battles. People expect celebrities to fall clearly into one camp or another, Republican or Democrat, progressive or conservative, supporter or opponent. Nuance gets lost. Middle ground becomes a risky place to stand. When Nicki Minaj declared herself Trump's #1 fan, even while maintaining that criticism doesn't affect her, many people interpreted it as a dramatic shift, a betrayal, or even a strategic move. Longtime fans who remember her early criticism of Trump's policies felt shocked. Critics saw it as opportunism. Supporters interpreted it as courage and independence. Then came the gold card posts. Some interpreted the timing as evidence of some kind of deal. Others saw it as a powerful symbol of her own journey, from immigrant to influencer with insider access. Meanwhile, critics on social platforms argued that Nicki's alignment with political figures, known for divisive stances, especially on immigration and LGBTQ+ issues, was disappointing given her earlier image as a voice for marginalized communities. And though there's no public evidence tying her support directly to legal arrangements or favors, the perceptions alone have reshaped her public image almost overnight. This moment became more than a press conference. It became a flashpoint in the broader conversation about celebrity political influence, divided fan loyalty, public identity versus private choice, and how modern culture interprets power. For many, it also raised a personal question. Can a public figure change their mind without being accused of abandoning their past, or worse, selling out? Nicki Minaj once stood on the outside of political labels, outspoken about immigration, critical of policies that hurt families, and focused on her craft as a musician. Now, she stands beside a former president, proudly, confidently, and unapologetically, claiming loyalty in a way that has confounded friends and foes alike. Whether people see this as principled independence, strategic alignment, personal benefit, or something more complicated, one thing is clear. This moment is about more than a single headline. It's about how culture, politics, and celebrity collide in the digital age. And that's why the internet hasn't forgotten it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like the video for more similar content.